Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world tuning in. This is Jen Sugarmeyer, your host of Higher in Heels. And yes, I still am recording, and I didn't realize how much of this was in the picture. So very colorful. Looks a little bit like Christmas behind me. But we are here live every single day, Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. So wherever that is in the world for you, but this is YouTube. So we are here all the time, and it's all about giving you motivation to go start that day intentionally. And that's actually what we're talking about this week is intentionality. So first, I would love if you would subscribe and if you would share this with your friends, because the point here is really to create a community where we're coming together and we're just getting filled with nuggets as we want to start our day. The morning time, to me, the reason this is in the morning is because that is our most important time of the day. That's when we are, getting our mind right and everything. I know when I just try to jump out of bed and just go hit it, it's really tough for me to do. I need that time to, think about what I want to do for the day, being intentional about my day. That's when I want to focus and center and maybe work out and get my mindset on the right path. And so this is all about mindset in the morning for us to just really feel motivated about going out and becoming the best versions of ourselves and elevating ourselves. Because ladies, let's face it, there just aren't enough women mentors and leaders out there. And so I want you to get nuggets here, take them back out into the world and go kick butt and become the woman that you know that you are supposed to be. So that's what it's all about. And today, in the week of intentionality, we're talking about being kind to ourselves and becoming our own champions through our words. So let me ask you this. Do you ever look in the mirror and say, oh, I mean it. Like maybe you're just walking by and you look over and you're like, oh, do you say that to yourself sometimes? Yeah, I know I do. I know I do. How about, do you ever say, boy, I can't do this. I can't do this. Does that ever come across? I know I've said that plenty of times. In fact, it's something really easy to say because, again, our brains are goal achieving machines, and whatever we set our minds to, that's what becomes our reality. And our brains are always trying to keep us safe. And if it's something new, it's telling us, hold on, I've never done that before. And I want to keep you in a safe space. So guess what? You can't do that, Jen, because you've never done it before. So I don't know what it feels like for you to do that. So I'm just going to tell you that you can't. So whether you're walking by a mirror and going, ugh, or you're telling yourself you can't, or you're telling yourself you're not enough, how many of us suffer from the not enough syndrome? Hello. Hello. I'm not good enough, pretty enough, skinny enough, smart enough, rich enough, successful enough, accomplished enough, whatever enough. Oh my gosh, that's me. That's me. I suffered from the not enough syndrome my entire life. But the truth is, and here it is, you don't have to have that dialogue playing in your head. You don't. You can choose to change that dialogue at any time. And I know it feels weird because we've been so used to walking by the mirror and going, ugh, or walking, telling ourselves that we can't or that we're not one of the enoughs. But I'm here to tell you that it starts with you changing the dialogue that you are telling yourself, and then things change. Henry Ford says, whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. Let me say it again. Whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. And that quote really means that whatever you are telling yourself is truth. And that's why words matter. And here on Higher in Heels, on Mindset in the Morning, we talk about every Wednesday what words matter. Like last week, we said, do you get to or do you have to? And that makes such a difference to the brain. Do I get to do something or do I have to do something? When you feel forced, you don't feel like you want to do it. But when you get to do something, it's a joy. So yesterday, I posted something on my social media. I get to go running. I mean, how many of us are like, ugh, I have to do this? and we don't want to do it. But when we say we get to, then we want to. It's those small, minor, tiny shifts that make all the difference in our world. So we talk about why words matter on Wednesdays here on the show. And today it's all about what you say to yourself matters. Would you, let me ask you this question. Would you, let's say that this is somebody that you like, maybe somebody you just started dating, or remember when you were dating back whenever it was, and when you first met this person, would you say, huh, you look awful? And I don't mean it in like a joking, playful kind of way. I mean in a really serious kind of way where you just go, oh, you're gross. Would you say that to that person? Probably not, because it's rude. We just wouldn't say that to other people. But for whatever reason, we think that it's okay to say to ourselves, ugh, gross. And it's not. I'm here to tell you that when you are telling yourself, when you are ripping yourself down, then you are your worst enemy. You need to be talking to yourself the same way that you would be talking to anybody else. And we need to have that level of standard within our own selves. Why is it okay that we tear ourselves down, but we uplift everybody else? Because remember, our brains, I'm going to say this again, our brains are goal achieving machines. And whatever we set our minds to, that becomes a reality. And if we say, ugh, that's our reality, then we look for all of the reasons that we're, ugh, oh, look, more lines here. And it's a little bit of flub here. And oh, yeah, this gross. And we start to fixate on whatever it is that we're going, ugh, about. What if we flipped that dialogue around and said, wow, you know what? I just love me for who I am. Or I'm aging gracefully. I told someone that the other day. Because there are things that I'm like, okay, that's different. Okay. You know, when you start to like look down at your legs and you're like, wow, my elasticity just isn't the same. And you start to get the like creases in your skin and you're like, okay, more lotion, more hydration to the skin. Oh my gosh, things are changing. And you start to smile and it's like your whole face just looks like it cracks. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like age is starting to hit me. And you know what? It feels kind of weird. It feels weird, especially when you always had really nice skin or whatever. And then now it's like, whew, man, those 13 cupcakes I ate over my birthday just kind of are sitting on me faster than they normally would, because maybe I would have just burned them off once upon a time. And now I actually got to like deal with them. So these things about me are changing. But what if instead of going, ugh, I just said, wow, you are aging gracefully? Because I do. I think I am. I mean, I'm almost 40 and, and it's funny to me when some people say, so are you 30? I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank you. I actually don't ever want to be 30 again, but, I'm like, thank you. So that's proof that people are even telling me that, hey, you look younger than you are. So why am I the one to sit here and criticize myself? Sure, put a little extra lotion on your face. Put a little extra lotion on your body. Start using vitamin E oil or whatever, Start using sun visors when you go out in the sun, whatever. Do those things. But don't tear yourself down, because when you start to fixate on that, when you say those just small little words, or even that noise, when you make that noise, and I find myself saying that sometimes, and I correct myself just like this. No, you don't, Jen. Don't you dare. I say that to myself, sometimes out loud, sometimes just in my head. I live alone, so it's fine. My cat's like, Mom, don't do that. So it's just me. So it doesn't matter if I talk to myself or not, but I do. When I find myself saying that, I have to catch myself. And that's it, y'all. I mean, It's just about catching yourself when these things are happening. Like when your anger is rising and you're like, "Wait, hold on, something's going on." Or you say something and you're like, "Wait, that's not in line with my belief system." Or, "Oh, I just broke my boundary." And it's catching it when things are happening. That's when you can start to change things. And I'll get back to where we are, but when I talk about, are you happening to life or is life happening to you? If life is just happening to you, then you aren't aware of when you go, "Ugh," and you just keep going. Or when you say, "Oh, I can't do this," and you just keep going. Or you say, "I'm not good enough," and you just keep going. Or you get angry and you keep going, or you break your boundaries and you keep going, or you say something and you just keep going. Whatever it is, and you just keep going. You don't stop and you say, "Well, hold on, time out. That's not what I want in my life." And having that level of awareness is going to change everything in your life. It is. Because if we are just going through life and we're not catching these things, then they're going to keep happening. It's so much easier because our brains want to keep us safe. The reason we get angry, the reason we get frustrated, the reason we want control, the reason like we get into these states of what I call suffering is because our minds are trying to keep us safe. It's like, don't step into that unknown. Oh, that person was, and then it makes up stories. That person was, doing something to you, so you should get angry. Like, no, no. But our brains are just trying to protect us. That's all that is. But it puts us into a state where we don't feel good. And if we aren't combating it, then that's where we stay. Because you are an energy force and you start to attract more and more things. It's like those people that you meet and they're just Debbie Downers, and you're like, I don't know, I can only take that person in like itty bitty little tiny baby chunks. And then you meet other people and they're super positive, and you're like, I love being around you because you're just so amazing and positive. Do you know who's done the work? The positive person. If you're in a negative state, you're not doing the work, not to the level you can be. And then it just starts to become you. You start to become light and airy and free. Do you think that this positive person over here is like, ugh, you look terrible. Ugh, you're not good enough. You're not. No, this person has self love. This person's happy. This person's at peace and has clarity and flow. That's where we all want to be. This person over here is like trying to control the world, like, oh, I'm so angry because all the drivers suck. And you're like, just let go, like, let go of the drivers. It's okay that you're aging. Just tell yourself you're aging gracefully and be happy with it. So it's, where do you want to be on the spectrum? Do you want to be this person that's that, ooh, Debbie Downer, negative Nancy over here? Or do you want to be this person that's that joy to be around? So whether you realize it or not, it comes down to what you are telling yourself. This is such a critical piece of it. And if you are telling yourself, ugh, then your mind's like, let me find all those ugh things. And it's not easy. Look, ladies, I'm not sitting here saying that this is an easy thing because I'm aging too. And there are things that are changing. And you're like, ooh, that's 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 wiggling a little differently today. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay. Go to the gym a little bit more. I don't know what to say. But there are plenty of amazing things that I am, and I'm not defined by my little wiggle jiggle. I'm not. I've got a lot of things to offer, and I'm doing a lot of really great things. Tell yourself this. You are not defined by your wiggle jiggle. You're not defined by your little, your lines on your face. In fact, tell yourself a story like you earned all of these lines. Like that this isn't a negative thing. You can flip that script. Lines don't equal bad. Lines equal laughter. Lines equal love. Lines equals a life lived. If you never laughed, would you have that many lines? I have a lot of lines when I do this. They're all right here. It's because I smile a lot. Not like this, but you know what I mean. So tell yourself that they're laugh lines, that you earned those lines, that they're your stripes. And again, I'm not saying that they're easy, but it's what you tell yourself, because what you tell yourself matters. So I want to encourage you that whatever it is, that you have a say in everything. So this dialogue that is constantly going on within you, you control that. So are you happening to life, or is life happening to you? And remember, if you are in a state of suffering, then life is happening to you. You got to push back and you got to say, hold on, life. And today we're specifically talking about how you feel about yourself and becoming your own champion. And it's flipping that script. We can do it in everything. We can always flip that script. So when you start to find yourself saying these things, ask yourself, would I say this to someone else, especially someone else that loved and cared about me? Let me put this into the mix. If you believe in a higher power and you believe that your higher power is omnipotent and doesn't make mistakes and is perfect and has made you in what's the word I'm looking for, has made you as a reflection of your higher power. In the Bible, it says that God made us as a reflection of him. He's perfect. We're on this earth and we're not perfect. That's just how it is. Like, not a single one of us are going to live this perfect life. So just a little side note, I hate when I go into a church and they're like, we're all perfect, we don't sin. And I'm like, BS. I don't like those churches. I don't do those churches, because we all sin. None of us are perfect. We could try, but the truth is, we've got this world that's just happening around us, and the Satan's out there, the devil's out there, and we're always getting tried. And that's why this life is so hard. Or it could be a challenge. I shouldn't say it's so hard. Like, it can be a challenge because we just have all these external things that are happening. We want to stay in our state of peace, and yet, like, chaos is happening everywhere, and we have to put up our guard and be like, no, psh, 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 psh. Sometimes something comes through and it really challenges you. But you got to keep this out here. You can't also be the enemy. You have to be your champion. And if God is saying that, hey, I made you in the perfect image of me, then why are you one to go against that? Don't be part of the war that's happening all around you. Be part of the fight. Be the one that's leading the charge and saying, no way. You don't get to talk to me that way. And it's not just other people, but it's yourself as well. Because if you are talking to yourself in that manner, then you might as well just join the fight with everybody else, with all this chaos that's happening around. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be in this state of suffering, or do you want to be in peace? You are the hub. I think of Star Wars. You are the Death Star or whatever, Become your champion. Tell yourself that you can, because whether you can or you can't, you are right. Talk to yourself the way that you would somebody that you really cared about. And know that you were made in the perfect image of your creator, and your creator doesn't make any mistakes. And yeah, you may trip and fall and sin and all of that, and that happens. But that doesn't make you a bad person. That makes you human. Because every single one of us falls, scrapes our knees, does something stupid, and we learn and we move on. That's that. So I hope you just feel really inspired today to go in the mirror and say, I love you. I love you, chick, and we're gonna go rock it today because that's what we do. That's what we do. And I am enough. And for all of these reasons, and I can do this, and no more. It's now, yeah, those are laugh lines. It's good. That's what I want for you today. So go out, be intentional about the way that you are talking to yourself. And I'd love to see you back here tomorrow. Again, we are here live every single day of the week and 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, or you can view afterwards. You can go to higherandheels.com, find out more information, download a free magazine. And yeah, if you would subscribe to the channel, that would mean a lot, and share with your friends. That would be amazing. So let's wrap this up. What are we going to sing? That's right. We're coming up. We want the world to know. We're going to let it show. That's right. Because we're coming up. That's right, ladies. We want the world to know. We're gonna let it show. I'll see you here tomorrow. I feel so inspired to go love myself. I may go take a bath. You should do it too. All right. I'll see you. Cheers.